Welcome to another episode of Speed Data. I'm your host, Megan Garza. Today's guest is Illena Armstrong, president of Cloud Security Alliance, a nonprofit dedicated to promoting cloud security best practices. A former Cyber Defense Magazine Top 25 Women in Cybersecurity, Ilena's vast experience spans across multiple industries, including journalism, strategy, research, and advocacy, to name a few. In addition to Ilena's role at CSA, she serves as a fellow with the International Association of Certified ISAOs, is co-chair of the IACI Global Security Resilience Alliance, is on the board of advisors for cybersecurity ventures, and is an executive advisory board member with the United Cybersecurity Alliance, promoting diversity, inclusion, and equality in the cybersecurity workforce. Illena is also a member of CHIEF, a private network that supports and strengthens women in executive leadership. Illena, it is an honor to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here, Megan. Thank you.
You began your career in multimedia as the editor-in-chief for SC Magazine. What made you want to go into cloud security?
So at the time, it wasn't even cloud at the time. I've been in the industry now for 20 years or so. And so when I first started, there were some supply chain issues and concerns. Mostly it was sort of on-prem network security folks were concerned. Obviously, the space has evolved. And so my former team and I had to evolve with it. As a result, I had the opportunity to speak to any number of industry experts, the evolving threat landscape, technologies that can help to address some of those threats. And now here we are where, especially after the pandemic, there were so many organizations, some of which you thought may have already made their journey to the cloud, but now we're so reliant on cloud systems, cloud infrastructure, that at this point, most organizations have a multi-cloud environment.
And I'm sure you've done a lot in that time. What do you enjoy most about your role?
I think what's cool about this, and similarly to working at Haymarket Media, and CSA is all about contributing to the wider industry and supporting the professionals who are sort of in the trenches every day. We did that at SC. So in that regard, it's been a really cool serendipitous move from a very large media entity to really well-rooted, large nonprofit security alliance. I mean, we're celebrating our 15th year next year, which is awesome. And we've got myriad initiatives that are going on, including one focused on zero trust, all of the areas that are such great import right now. So that giving back to the community and working with so many individuals in the space who are extremely passionate, that's really a huge benefit. And something that I love doing every day. I would say the other thing too is just this team. Many of them have been with CSA since it started. So there's a real commitment and folks here are pretty indefatigable. So it's a really great transition.
And you mentioned you work with a great team. What skills do you think make security professionals great at what they do?
I think a little bit of creativity certainly goes a long way. And that means that, creativity and thought not only navigate this fast evolving industry, but also just creative thought and figuring out how your organization needs to secure your environments, which are just so far reaching. Obviously, folks really need to be skilled in cybersecurity technology. There are some, though, who have come kind of like me. They're in this industry and they might not be ginormous tech heads, but they really have that vision of how an organization needs to evolve. I think more importantly, too, these days, cybersecurity professionals really have to understand how to work cohesively with other teams. Since it just touches everything now, cybersecurity is pretty much foundational to everything we do. And being really strong at problem solving, of course. And that takes a bit of tenacity.
What is the most important thing to remember when working in cybersecurity?
Kind of being open to different perspectives and seeing how folks in the larger organization view cybersecurity so you can really navigate how to address some of their concerns and needs. More and more, we're hearing from our corporate members and even some of our chapter leaders that their teams are looking for ways to communicate more effectively to the board. And that has only become more acute, a more acute concern given some of the regulatory mandates that have come out, and then some of the situations we've seen with some CISOs being called to task for breaches. I think it's a team effort, and folks need to understand how to navigate that a little bit and work with others.
And take me back a little bit before you even got into this industry. If you weren't in cybersecurity, what would you be doing?
There were moments when I think there were a lot of people, and I still engage in it. I would go into photography. I just a very old wide lux 35 millimeter camera from like the 1960s, and I haven't used it yet, but I have an appreciation for that. I don't know. I'm a nature lover too, so maybe I would be some national park director. Seriously.
Yeah. Or maybe a nature photographer.
Yeah.
Lastly, can you share one thing that you wish future cybersecurity professionals knew?
Any professional, especially those who have aspirations of being in an executive level position, need to lead with empathy and need to really understand that it's a team effort. So there's notion of leading with empathy and humility. Those human elements, from my perspective, are more important than anything else, because if you have this desire to learn about the space, you can do that. But paying attention and perfecting some of those traits like empathy and honesty and humility, I think those are pretty critical to leadership roles in any space, but perhaps even more important in this space, given how far-reaching cybersecurity is.
Well, Illena, thank you again for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And if our guests have any questions they'd like asked during a future episode of Speed Data, shoot me a note at pr@varonis.com. Thanks, Illena.
Thank you, Megan. I appreciate it.